All right, let's get right into a thought experiment that, well, it might just change how you see yourself and maybe even everything else. We're going to explore a concept called the box model, and it asks a pretty profound question. Are you just playing a character in your own life?
So let's start with this. That voice in your head, the one that's constantly chattering away, narrating your life, is that you? Or is it possible that voice is just part of a really sophisticated program you're running? It's a weird thought, I know, but just stick with me. You know, so many of us have this strange, nagging feeling deep down. This sense that the me we talk about, with all its thoughts, feelings, and memories, might not be the whole picture. It's this idea that maybe it's a kind of decoy. A decoy that responds so perfectly to our intentions that we've completely mistaken it for our true self. The easiest way to think about it is like a video game. You've got the player, that's the real you, the one holding the controller, the source of every intention. And then you have the avatar on the screen. That's the character that's acting out your will. Now here's the key difference. The player knows it's just a game, but the avatar, it believes the game is its entire reality. Getting this distinction is, well, it's where everything begins. So, keeping that player avatar idea in mind, let's officially lay out the framework for this whole concept. It's called the box model, and it basically breaks down our experience into two very distinct layers.
So the first layer is what we'll call awareness. Now, try to think of this as the absolute most fundamental part of you. It's not your personality, it's not your memories, it's not even your thoughts. It's just that simple, silent capacity to notice things. It's the part of you that's experiencing all this right now.
And then there's the second layer, the box. And the box is, well, it's pretty much everything else. It's the entire responsive system we call reality and ourselves. It's the whole game world, and it's the avatar living inside of it.
And just look at how much stuff is considered part of the box. We're talking about your body, sensations like pain, all your thoughts, your emotions, your entire history. Heck, even the concepts of time and space themselves, in this model, all of that is just content inside the box.
And this right here, is the most radical, mind-bending claim of the entire model. You, that core awareness, are not in the box. The box, with everything inside of it, is not you. It is a completely separate system that is just linked to you.
Okay, so if that's true, how on earth do we all get it so wrong? Why do we spend our entire lives thinking we are the avatar? Well, this is what the model calls the Great Deception. It all happens because of a very simple but totally flawed little bit of logic. It goes like this. Step 1. Awareness has an intention. Something simple, like, I want to raise my hand. Step 2. The avatar inside the box, your body, responds instantly and perfectly. The hand goes right up. So step 3, awareness makes a huge leap. It concludes, wow, if that thing responds to me so perfectly, it must be me.
But see, that's the fundamental mistake we all make. And if you take one thing away from this, let it be this quote. Response is not identity. Response is only correlation. Just because two things are perfectly connected, just because they move in sync, that doesn't mean they are the same thing.
I mean, it's actually really simple when you think about it. You move your computer mouse and the little cursor on the screen moves with it. But you're not the cursor, right? You press a button on a controller and your character jumps. But you are not the character. In both cases, you're just awareness, giving input to a system that's designed to respond.
But the trap here, it goes way deeper than just identifying with the contents of the box. The real prison, the thing that keeps us locked in, is the box's fundamental operating system, its rules.
See, the box has its own built-in coordinate system that defines its reality. It's built on concepts like past and future, scarcity, the feeling of not enough, social judgment, and this constant nagging sense of survival urgency. These aren't just random ideas. They are the very grid lines on the map of the game world.
And here's the kicker. The second you mistake the avatar for yourself, you don't just get its body and its thoughts, you inherit the entire rulebook. You automatically adopt the box's coordinate system as the fundamental, undeniable truth of your own existence.
And all of a sudden, your life becomes dominated by questions that only make sense inside the box. Questions like, what if I fail? What will other people think of me? What happens when I die? These questions feel so incredibly real, so urgent, but they are native to the avatar's world, not necessarily to you, the awareness.
So, is there a way out? Is there a winning move? Well, according to this model, winning isn't about escaping the box or trying to perfect the avatar. No, it's much simpler. It's about a shift in your perspective. It's about breaking an unconscious agreement you've been making your whole life.
See, this trap isn't something that happened to you once. It's something we do to ourselves over and over every single day. We renew the trap every time we take an experience that's happening inside the box, a feeling, a thought, a sensation, and we turn it into an identity statement. We sign the contract again every time we say, I am this.
Look at the difference here. On the left, we have what's called fusion. This is the identity contract. We say, I am anxious. We completely merge with the experience. But on the right, we have a new stance, non-fusion. Instead, we just observe, anxiety is happening. Do you see that subtle but absolutely massive difference? One is an identity, the other is just an observation.
And this is so important. This isn't about denying your feelings or pretending that pain doesn't exist. Not at all. It's simply about non-fusion. It's realizing that you can fully experience a storm happening inside the box without having to declare that you are the storm. And really, this quote just sums the whole thing up perfectly. We spend so much of our lives, so much energy, trying to improve and perfect our avatar, our body, our personality, our social status. But what if all of that is missing the point entirely? What if the real goal is just to stop confusing the avatar for the player? So that leaves us with one final big question to chew on. We always think that suffering itself is the ultimate trap. But what if the deepest trap isn't the pain or the fear or the loss? What if the real trap is that constant, relentless pressure from ourselves and from others to point to those experiences and declare, this is me?